What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Peaktime Speaktime. Today, we have a legendary St. Lucian musician, top vocalist. Yeah, I mean, I could play this guy's music on Spotify, and just let all the tracks run, hits after hits, an amazing voice. A good friend of mine, Michael Robinson. Yeah. Big up yourself, my G.
Yeah.
Big up yourself,
Thanks
Big
for
up
having me,
yourself.
brother.
Yeah, man.
I love the setup. I love it.
Yeah.
Nice,
It's new.
cozy home. Makes me feel like I'm home, bro.
Yeah. We're trying to get it better, We'll get there.
No, it's there.
It's
there.
I like to hear that.
What's
So,
up? How you doing?
Yeah, so thanks for the visit. I know it's hard to get you here. You have so much going on.
Yeah, we
up and down,
always up
in and
down.
out.
In and out.
Never know when you're here, but it's fine,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing your thing, you're working on your craft.
Yeah.
And since we're just starting off,
Yeah.
tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Michael Robinson.
Yeah.
I am a singer, songwriter, musician, the newest Airbnb host on the block.
Right.
Okay?
MR
Let's not forget about
Suites.
the MR
Check it out.
Suite. I have to really plug in.
Yeah, I've been seeing the reviews you posted. I think
Yeah,
you're doing
5
good
stars.
work.
We go for 5 stars only.
Yeah.
Thank God I have had some.
Yeah, but
amazing guests.
we'll circle back on that
Okay,
because
no
I want to know where you get them skills from. But we'll come back.
No,
We'll come back. Yeah, so
But
tell us,
I've been doing music for quite some time. Maybe about 15 years. My first release was maybe in 2010.
Right.
I can remember because I was on my computer at home. Remember those computers back home?
Yeah, the big white thing.
Big white things.
Yeah.
I
Big back.
I borrowed a mic from my father's church to the power.
Right.
I downloaded a program and I made a song for Hurricane Thomas. Remember that hurricane that kind of destroyed Tunisia?
Right.
And that was my first ever single. So it was about
You remember
2009. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
It was called Who Feels It Knows It at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who Feels It
Like
Knows It. And
emotional.
then very emotional.
Okay.
I put it out there on Facebook and people were like giving me some great reviews on it. I'm like, huh?
Right.
Is this something that I should
That you should take
continue?
in, yeah.
That's how it started off.
Nice. So, okay. Obviously, you've heard so many times that you have an amazing voice. Did you get training? Where did this come from?
Yeah.
Like speaking to other people, a lot of people started off in the church.
Correct.
And they built it from there.
Correct, yeah.
Did you work on your craft from there or after, it's something that you got professional training or something? But it sounds like, or is it just natural? What is it?
I would say it's natural because I've never already gone to any school or gotten any professional training, did any vocal training. I probably got it from mom and dad. My dad was, a guitarist and also a singer in church. He has that, that
yes,
kind of.
I know about the voice. Yeah.
And my mom was also a singer as well. So I feel like, growing up in that family of musicians and singers, I just adapted it.
Okay.
And,
very nice.
So big shout out to my mom and dad, Christine Robinson and
shout out to them.
Robinson.
Yeah, shout out to them. Very nice people. Very nice
lovely.
people. And I guess that's where he got his, his good attitude from.
Correct.
Yeah.
Humble. Remain humble and loving and respect others. I suspect that's where I got it from.
Nice. Okay, so your style of music. Do you think that St. Lucians wait for a certain time of year and they just jump in on the soca music, So other than that, do you think your style of music is embraced like you want it to? In St. Lucia, that is, right?
In St. Lucia.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if we have to be honest, I think there's a lot that can be done from a supporter's standpoint. I do know that I have a very solid fan base, so I could drop anything regardless of whatever season, and people would appreciate it. People will play it. And I think that makes me stand out because I'm not like I'm a mixture of R&B, zouk, Afro. So I'm okay anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but I would love for people to embrace other genres as well. I mean, we're dominant in soca and genre segment, and I could tell you, Bex, like a lot of people that I grew up watching on TV, artists before me, R&B artists, reggae artists, they have pretty much just given up.
Yeah.
So I'm one of the few who really stuck by it and persevered and
worked
towards it and stayed true to my craft.
Right. So you ever thought about dropping a soca?
I have a couple soccas.
You have a couple soccas?
Yeah, I have a couple soccas. I mean,
all kind of girl in there. Yeah,
okay. It's a soca. It's a soca, yeah. And I did Hooray with Sir Lancelot.
Right, that's true, that's true.
In
that is true.
15.
So
I did competition. We placed what? We placed third.
Yeah. So obviously, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, as a reminder,
yeah.
So I've been doing couple of soccas, and
right.
I have another song which is called My Year. I did that in 2017. Tell you what, My Year. It's a soca.
It's a soca.
You know,
yeah. I think it's just because it's you singing it. People don't really register it as a soca.
A soca. Because I'm not a soca household. I won't consider me a soca artist anyway.
Yeah.
You know, but I've done a couple of soccas.
Nice. So I've done a couple of photo shoots for you. You know, and I've seen your style.
Yeah.
When it comes to clothing, your style, just your whole demeanor when it comes to approaching the job of being an artist.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have an international. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
I am not well traveled.
Yeah.
I have seen the States and different things, but I haven't done a lot in there.
Yeah.
But I know that you have. Did it influence you in, just you being you now?
Yeah. I don't think I've been influenced internationally.
Right.
I know international celebrities, they have their style.
Mm-hmm.
But for growing up, I've always known what I want to be. I want to be looked as a gentleman. I want to treat people like I'm a gentleman.
Right.
So I've always had that specific look.
Yeah.
Gentleman look.
Yeah.
I kind of switch it up sometimes.
Right.
But I don't think I've been influenced out there. But now, obviously we have to move with trends.
You have to move.
You have to move with trends sometimes.
Yes.
So I'm very open to other styles and just making it mine.
Right. I feel like you do that. You do that very well. So I had the opportunity to see you at the jazz festival.
Yeah.
And obviously, me.
Oh, you on stage with me?
Yeah. Me being me, I looked for
Correct.
the best shots.
Correct.
And everything.
And you gave me that. By
yes.
Yeah,
I never got the chance, to ask you your perspective on that experience. I know you've been on stage a million times, The Jazz Festival is a big stage.
Yeah.
It's being recorded and sent out to to people that influential people. People will be able to see you on another level. Do you think that helped, and how did it feel for you being there?
You want me to speak on that specific year that you were on there with me?
Yes, that time. Yeah.
Wow. I think that year was very traumatizing.
Traumatizing. Right.
It was not my favorite year, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think maybe that's the first time the public is ever going to know that.
Mm-hmm.
I've done stages before. I've done the fringe events. I've done side stage. I've done main stage already back in 2017 thereabout.
Okay.
But this year, I felt like it was bittersweet for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was sweet that I got the opportunity to hit that stage because I just released the album Questions, and I was extremely excited and I was pumped. We were rehearsing and everything was just...
Everything went well. The musicians
sweet.
You had on stage?
100. That's my boys from get-go, and we did have some technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I would recognize it because obviously I'm the artist.
Exactly.
So we had some major technical difficulties on that night, and my set was cut short, last minute. So that was the bitter side of it.
Right.
I feel like I didn't really get my time to give everything that I worked hard for.
Okay.
In that short space of time, because we rehearsed for like a 45-minute set, and we only did like 20 minutes. So could you imagine right before I go on, Michael Robinson, sorry, you cannot do your full set. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Because everything is just like it's programmed. We have intros, we have
you most likely would have saved your best for last, like you
exactly. So now what I had to do was I had to kind of push up the Make You Mine, which is one of the crowd's favorite.
Right.
I had to kind of push it up, and it was a kind of way mix.
Right.
But the opportunity to present myself and present my product is always I'm always thankful for it.
Yeah.
I feel like the fans came out. seeing people singing the song word for word, that kind of satisfies me.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
You know, people
looked
just
really good.
all the phones up in the air.
Yeah.
You know, Bex, it was an amazing feeling just to grace the stage and present my product to
very nice
to the crowd and the fans.
Yeah. I mean, just from my perspective, it
was amazing.
It was nothing different than what the international artists bring. You know, it was really good. I know.
And the reviews as well. The reviews actually showed me like, you know, hey Mike, you know, you actually did well.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, the people in the back would have understood what was going on, but I would never allow anyone else to know what was happening. You know what I mean? So they embraced it and they enjoyed it.
Made sense. So where do you see yourself moving forward? I know people ask, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? You know, like
10 years,
but where do you see yourself moving forward? Because, you know, like everybody has their goals.
Yeah.
And I know for men, you know, we usually have a plan in our head, like what we're trying to do.
Yeah, we're very strategic.
Yeah, strategic. And it doesn't really work out that way. But whatever we get out of it, it feels good because we moved ourselves in a direction where we want to be. Sometimes 100%. We get better than you know where we want to be. So what do you see yourself?
I've always seen myself spreading the good music. Yeah. I've always seen myself. I'm a lover of music. I love concerts. I go to concerts. Chris Brown, Usher. I've seen myself on that big stage. Right. You know. So I am definitely, I have been working towards that, and that's why I can see myself watching Chris Brown late last year. You know, I was actually with my mouth open. I probably watched him like 4 times in a row, but every time he shows me something different, and that is what I want to do, and give my fans.
Very nice.
You know.
Very nice. All right. So you're gonna move into any instruments? I remember back in the day, this guy.
COVID
COVID time, yeah, boy. We used to play basketball and try to learn the piano.
Yeah.
Like, none of us again know it.
Never. I probably got one thing, but that was it. That was it. I used to ask creatives. It's easy for us to get distracted. Yeah. You know, we can put our mind to something, but the next thing that comes up, we kind of lose focus. And we were doing good. I was just having a conversation with somebody, I can't remember, just yesterday, and I was saying like if I had to go back, like one instrument I would definitely want to play is the piano. The piano, yeah. That would have been able to elevate the whole game. Yep. You know, and I felt like COVID, it was perfect time perfect time to do it. Yeah. And then we just didn't keep it up. We didn't do it. But I think it would definitely be piano and secondly the guitar. Yeah. I think my dad plays guitar. It's a beautiful instrument, you know, and that maybe top 2. Yeah. Piano, guitar. Yeah. So you see, you had the avenue to be taught, I had it, and you still did. I had it. It happens. It happens. But the thing is, my dad was never taught himself. You were self-taught, like you self-taught. Yeah. So I feel like it's a little difficult for you to teach someone else. Give it to somebody else. My dad is by ear. Okay. You play a song. You get it, and then you will. Okay. You understand? Makes sense. Okay. But imagine, a lot of people don't know that. But I went to school of music, right? Okay. And my biggest regret is not picking up the piano or the guitar. I want you to guess what instrument I picked up at school of music. The drums. No, bro. No? I was self-taught. I can play drums. That's easy. Right. That's easy. But I'll give you 2 more tries. An instrument that you'd never think MR would pick up. Now, I might guess that right, you know, because somehow. I doubt. Somehow, every time I pass through that area, I'm hearing people trying this instrument. Okay. Like when I was younger, I always used to hear it, because I'm somebody that I love music. Okay. So I pick up on these things. I think probably was the xylophone. Nah. No? One more time. What was it? I don't guess it again. I guess it again. Bro, it was the clarinet. I picked up a clarinet. The man want to play a flute. I picked up a clarinet. And God knows, I don't know why. Like, I don't know what I was going through at that time. But I just picked up a clarinet instead of like a piano. Or, right. You know, and I just never got the clarinet. So I feel like I wasted my time with the clarinet. Yeah, I did. All right. Well, when I spoke to Kidel, he was saying he did the saxophone before. That's how we picked up on that. So, yeah. Correct. But you playing a clarinet, like, your voice would not be heard. Maybe it'd be heard for that, but Bro, at the time, we were young, so I was stupid. So I honestly don't know what happened, what I was going through. But yeah, that was one of my biggest regrets.
Yeah, man. But finding your way, it takes trying different things.
That is it.
So yeah,
that is it. Yeah.
That's
Just
all.
testing the waters, see what works, and I don't think it's ever too late. It's never too late. So we could definitely go back into our piano vibe.
Yeah, we can try it. We can try something. So problems that you've had. I've seen you do birthday requests, like people call you in, like you can maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
But like I've seen you try different things, obviously you have to bring the money in, So just tell us, little problems that you've had since you've been doing this full time. Because I know you used to work before this and then you went into it full time.
Yes,
you can, just expand on that a little bit.
Problems.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider them as problems. I would just say there are times where my anxiety kind of went up.
Right.
But I've never really been stuck because the whole birthday things, like you mentioned, the birthday stuff came up like maybe a little after COVID.
Right.
But I remember hitting $5 on my savings.
Yeah.
Because I remember no hotels were open, no gigs, no performances.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I had to figure out a way to do something, and then the whole birthday things came up, so that was a blessing.
Right.
But I've never really had any problems in just maybe a couple setbacks, financially.
Yeah.
Because music is a huge investment.
Yeah.
You pay $2,000, $3,000, give maybe depends on the producer, $5,000 for one track.
Right.
So and sometimes you don't really get back because avenues here.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a problem.
Okay.
The avenues to present the music and to make that money is definitely a problem in Zimbabwe.
Right.
So I'm hoping that we can get more avenues and look at even right now, like in the soca arena, like the barely shows for the artists to kind of get money back from all the investments.
Okay.
So I think that would be a problem, just the avenues. But I've never been down. I've always kept going. I've always tried different ways. Started doing weddings. The birthdays really came in clutch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Keep it going.
I had to ask because from the outside looking in, you never know. I'm always curious to see how business people get by and how they do it. I don't want to ask you your business directly, but I'm always curious to see, because the thing is, for me, I always feel like I'm interested in people.
Yeah.
And it's just how I am. I think that's why I'm doing this, because it's not like I want to know your business. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, but it's like I'm always interested in having conversations
and that's
with people about it.
That's how we help each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So you saying that I could see the innovation. Yeah. I saw it, but then I didn't know. I just thought it was just things that you always wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so obviously
it was a quick thing. It was just like okay, Mike, you cannot stay down. People are really depending on you.
Right.
People are looking up to you. So if you're depressed, and that's the thing. I think even you as well, we're put in a position where people actually look up to us.
Yeah.
And whatever we're going through, they will go through.
Okay.
So in them times, I've always been taught to just take care of people and take care of my family and stuff like that. So I felt like, when I'm feeling down, I'm not really down. I just need a way out.
A way out.
And that is what kind of helped me through my entire music journey.
Okay. So obviously, like you said, you are a creative.
Yeah.
How do you come about making them tracks? Is it something where you isolate yourself and you're in a room and you're walking around with a paper, or you just kind of sing something? Do you record it while you're singing, you're trying?
Yeah.
Or is it something where the song comes to you and you run to a pen and pad? Or what is it? How does it work?
It's a weird process for me. Sometimes I hear something, some music playing, and I catch a vibe.
Right.
I catch a melody. If I catch a melody that I'm impressed with, I would quickly take my phone and record it on voice notes.
Right.
So it's like no words, just melody. So sometimes that's how I started.
So you sing in the melody?
Yeah, I sing the melody. Okay. And I record it.
Yeah.
And then eventually I'll go back to it and see how I could expand the melody and put lyrics to it.
Okay.
But for me, I never started with lyrics.
Never.
It's
okay.
Always a melody.
Always a melody. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And I have been working with other producers and writers as well. I've worked with Shane Ross. I've worked with Islands. I've worked with Eleni. up and coming aspiring artists as well
Right.
have written for me as well. So it's not just me.
Okay.
Sometimes we go in studio, I hear a beat, I don't really like it, but eventually, sometimes maybe a week after, a year after,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you know,
You-
it comes back.
yeah.
So it's a weird process for me,
Okay.
very, very weird. People send me beats all the time, Bex.
Okay.
Hey, bro, I want you to jump on this. Sometimes I don't like it, but
Yeah.
eventually, maybe afterwards,
You jump on it.
I
okay.
jump on it. Yeah,
That
It's a
makes
weird
sense.
process
That
for
makes
me.
sense.
Weird,
yeah.
weird, weird.
I always wondered how people do it because when I was younger, I tried to write some songs. You know, I have my thing I write in, and a couple partners pass home and check me. What shit you doing, boy?
Correct. I used to write poems.
Lucius. Oh, you can ask Lucius about that. Boy, mate, like the man roasted me. Boy, I tell you.
So you had a full notepad, like book.
Yeah, I have a book. I write in my tracks, and
yeah.
the man tell me like, "What shit you doing?" So up to this day, he will say, "Because of him, I am where I am because he stopped me from writing them shit songs."
And allow you to focus on something else.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
I used to do that.
Yeah,
in
boy,
school.
he'd be your friend sometimes.
Yeah,
you know,
in
but-
school,
yeah.
I used to do that. I used to write poems for females.
Right.
And I think maybe that's where it all started off. You know, rhyming, making sure I
Yeah.
rhyme, and I still have a book with lyrics as well.
Right.
But it's been a while since I've done that.
Nice. So, any more songs for the year? I know
Definitely.
Carnival coming. You can drop a little.
Definitely. Now
Lovely.
I feel like Carnival.
Yeah.
I mean, the legends are taking care of Carnival.
Right.
The
So you just leave
Carnival
that.
music is in good hands.
Okay.
I'm out of it.
Okay, so-
I actually did a song with Nudi. It's called Uwe. So that was my contribution.
Contribution for it.
For the
yeah.
Carnival season. It's doing
Like
very,
a
very
groovy
well.
type stuff, or?
Yeah, definitely
Okay.
groovy.
Right.
Nudi was an amazing artist. He's doing exceptionally well now.
Yes.
So it was a pleasure being on that track with him. And so I'm waiting for the Carnival vibe to finish. And as soon as Carnival is done,
You're
I
gonna
have
hit
an
it,
entire
yeah.
project to drop.
Yeah.
So it's going to be.
Okay, makes sense. So now one thing I noticed is the level of music videos that you have been releasing.
Yeah.
Like you started off on a high for the time it was. If you look at it now, you might see.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. A little,
Yeah.
That they're not too
But you
good.
started off on a high and you continued.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the name of that video with the one with the classic car? What's the name of that song again?
Because honesty.
Yeah.
Honesty.
Yeah. How it goes? Sing a little thing.
She got that body, oh.
Yeah.
I cannot trust nobody, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
That was one
video.
of my, the stuff. Big up Jelani.
Big up Jelani.
Paul.
Like this guy
the whole
showed
side.
what he has, what he can do.
Yeah.
Like in that video,
Yeah.
and I really appreciated that. Just the whole visuals.
Yeah,
of all that, you know?
I really enjoyed that project, and for the first time in my life,
Yeah.
it was not me handling it.
Yeah. So
because
he did everything.
Yeah, so Tiz
Okay.
reached out to me and
Yeah. Big up Tiz.
big up Tiz.
Yeah.
And she pretty much took care of everything. All I
Okay.
had to do was take care of my outfits. Obviously,
Yeah.
you know, that's what
Yeah,
I did.
exactly. Yeah,
But
yeah.
they put everything together. Jelani came down, and bro, that was the first time in my life I was like relaxed.
Relax.
Because it's been me.
Good vibe,
Rex.
good vibe,
It's
yeah.
been me for all the music videos you've seen. It's been me organizing, getting everything together, and so that one there, I was just mad
I
relaxed.
love that. All right. So when it comes to the people, we've spoken about you and everything that you've done. Obviously, the people are the ones, holding you up, and like just it's true they're not there when you're brainstorming and you're doing all the hard work.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that make you feel good about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you think that you have somebody that is your top fan?
Boy,
Number one fan.
let's not do that. Let's not go for it.
I want to
Let's
know.
not go for that.
Who is your... No, I want to do it.
Let's
Who
not
do
go
you
for
think? A lot of people might get mad,
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So I can't name like top 4.
Name your top 4.
Okay, I won't.
Yeah.
I won't name them, but
Yeah.
I feel like if I don't mention this name,
Yeah.
I might get shot.
You might
I
get
literally
shot.
get shot. Yeah.
Wow.
Big up Cookie.
Big up Cookie.
Big up Cookie.
Big up
Everybody
Cookie.
knows.
Yeah.
Cookie. Don't play around Emma.
Don't play around
Don't
Emma.
play around Emma. I know I have
Yeah.
some amazing fans, and let me tell you something. I saw one post a video yesterday in her close friends. She had a song and she was just like literally thinking about Michael Robinson. I'm like, oh shit, okay,
Yeah.
wow, it's getting.
Yeah.
You see, Cookie.
Yeah.
Cookie has never, and Cookie's been there. Why I mentioned Cookie's been there from the first song, bro.
Your first song.
My
Yeah.
my first song being 100% like supportive and would call radio stations. Why you not playing Michael Robinson?
Real?
Bro, no, you don't know. Just me. She has a menace.
Yeah.
She has a menace. So big up Cookie. But honestly, like people like Cookie and all the others who share, they keep me going, bro.
Yes, nice.
Because I would have been like I said, a lot of people started, they fell by the wayside, but my fans and my loyal fans have kept me going.
Yeah.
You know?
Nice.
Big up them.
All I can say is, just keep being innovative.
Yeah.
Keep pushing, keep singing them songs, because people are watching. People are watching. Peaktime Studio is watching. Beck's watching, everybody there. Yeah, because I love music. From since back in the day when we there with the drums and doing all that. Yeah. I just, even if I'm not on the music scene, I like to watch. I like to sing on my own time. I like to do my thing.
You appreciate the music.
Yeah. So I appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing,
appreciate
bro.
It, brother.
Yeah, and thanks. Just thanks for coming and sitting with us.
Yeah, it was a nice vibe.
Nice vibe.
See you all at the Caribbean Awards 2025, man.
Caribbean Awards 2025. Sounds good.
We had to go up.
Yeah, so we have our solution, international, regional, everything. Big time artist, Michael Robinson. This is Bex. This has been Peaktime Studio. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Right? Don't forget to follow Bex Photo Pro, Peaktime Studio on Instagram, and
Michael Robinson 758 everywhere.
Yeah, and on TikTok. We're there too. We'll share the handles in the description. You guys, peace out. Have fun.
See you all.
Yeah.